Welcome back to our fantastic episode where your boys, the cycle, that is me, Joe, the co host, and your major, amazing, and fantastic reader boy, Scott.
Reader boy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Scott, your boy, is here, ready to read his brand new, just found article from 5 years ago. Some- Something walks whistling past my house every night at 3:03. Why is it specifically 3:03? Okay,
You know
I'm
what?
sorry, I just read
I,
that and I didn't read the whole thing. And also, why is it specifically at 3:03?
okay. To be
Also,
fair
do you
though,
hear the noises?
you know what's very funny? It doesn't specify AM, so this could just be 3:03 p.m. I know it says every night, but 3:03 p.m. is just hilarious.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say 3:03 p.m. would be amazing because it'd be bright
Yeah.
out.
Every night at 3:03 p.m.
Oh, wouldn't 3:03 be morning? Every morning at 3:03.
IRL ban for Joe. You're not allowed to use the word "yeah" for this entire reading.
Oh no.
Oh no. Okay.
Okay.
Let's get it. Let's get into this.
Yeah.
You just said don't do that. put yourself on a fucking timer, bro.
How long do I have?
I think it's like 5 minutes or something, 5 or 10 minutes.
Cool.
Every night, no matter the weather, something walks down our street whistling softly. You can only hear it if you're in the living room or the kitchen. When they walk by, it always starts at exactly 3:03 p.m. Kidding.
Cool.
The sound starts faint, somewhere near the beginning of the lane near the Carson place, or towards the middle of the street, so the whistling moves past us before fading away into the direction of the cul-de-sac.
Is that really how you spell cul-de-sac?
I hope so, because I lived in a cul-de-sac.
I thought it was more of cul-de-sac.
Cul-de-sac. Cul-de-sac. When I was
Sacs.
When I was younger, my sister and I would sneak into the kitchen some nights to listen. Mom and Dad didn't like that, and we'd catch hell if they found us out there, but they were never too hard on us since we always stuck to the one big rule.
Lick your hands before you touch anything.
Yep. You gotta put germs everywhere. So you build up your immunity. Don't try to look out whatever was whistling. My neighborhood is a funny place. I've lived here since I was 6 and I love it. The houses are small but well kept. Good sized yards, plenty of places to roam. There are a lot of other kids here my age. I turned 13 back in October. We grew up together and would always play foursquare in the cul-de-sac or roam around from back porch to back porch in the summer. This was a good place to grow up. I'm old enough to see it, and there's only the two strange things here, the night whistling and the good luck. How's that weird to have good luck?
Wait, I don't care about the night whistling.
Yeah, what the fuck is up with the good luck?
Good luck figuring out what the night whistling was.
Yeah. Money just comes out of nowhere, you know?
Yep.
The whistling never bothered me much. Like I said, I couldn't even hear it from my bedroom. My mom and dad don't like talking about it, so I've stopped asking questions. My dad is a strong guy, tall and calm. He has an accent since he moved to the US as a kid. His family, my grandparents, they're from the islands. That's what they call it. My dad, the only time he isn't so calm is if the whistler comes up. He talks a little quicker then, eyes move faster, and he tells us not to think about it so much and to always remember the one rule, the big rule. Don't try to look outside when the whistler goes past. The whistler's the dad.
I was going to say it's more of the Rizzler, not the Whistler.
The Rizzler. He's risen up the kids.
I'm just more thinking it's more of like if you ever watch Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, it is the one oh gosh, it's the kidnapper.
The
That's
kidnap.
what it is.
Oh my god.
I don't know if you ever watched that movie, but it's amazing.
Jesus Christ. Oh, excuse me. Okay. Not that we can look even if we wanted. See, there are shutters on the inside of every window, thick pieces of heavy canvas that pull down from the top and the latch to the bottom of the window frame. Each latch even has a small lock about the size of what you would find on a diary. My dad locks those shutters every night before we all go to bed and keeps the key in his room. My mom, I don't know what she thinks about the whistling. I've seen her out in the living room before at 3:03 when the sound starts. I could see her if I cracked my door open just an inch to peek. She's not out there often. At least I haven't caught her much, but once or twice in a month. I think she sits out there on a big red couch just listening. The Whistler has the same tune every night. It's cheerful. Da 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 dum. Da 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 dum.
That's so whistly.
Wait, am I supposed to actually whistle this?
I don't
I
know.
don't think that's gonna pick it up. My mic's not gonna pick it up. Like,
Nope.
I can't whistle for shit, dude. Anyways, I assume nothing went through.
No, nothing.
Okay.
It sounded more like you tried to like spit through like a trombone, but you messed up.
Yeah, it doesn't work that well. Remember how I said there were two odd things about where I live? Well, besides our night whistler, everyone in my neighborhood is really lucky. It's hard to explain, and Dad doesn't like us talking about this part much either, but good things just seem to happen to people around here a lot. Usually it's small things, winning a radio contest or getting an unexpected promotion at work, or finding some arrowheads buried in the yard, you know, the authentic kind. Yeah, because that's the luck I want, is find arrowheads.
Why does arrowheads like make you like the authentic kind? You know,
Ah,
those ones.
yes. The obsidian.
Is that supposed to be like an innuendo?
Maybe. We'll see, I guess. The weather is pretty good and there's no crime and everybody's gardens bloom extra bright in the fall. A million little blessings, I've heard my mom say about living here. But the main reason we stay here, why we moved here in the first place, is my sister. Nola?
Noel.
I think it's Nola.
I don't think it's Noel.
Noel, whatever. She was born very sick, something with her lungs. They couldn't even bring her home when she was born, only visit her in the hospital. She was so small. I remember small even compared to the other babies. A machine had to breathe for her. We moved into our house here to be closer to the hospital. As soon as we moved here, Noel started getting better. The doctors couldn't figure it out. They chalked it up to whether they were doing, but we all could tell they were confused. But my parents knew, even I knew. Well, whatever. Getting better was just another one of the million little blessings we got for living in our neighborhood. We moved in... Oh, fuck. That's why we stayed even after we found out. For every small miracle that happens here every day, now and then some bad things happen. But they only happen if you look at the Whistler. See, our neighborhood was a welcoming committee. They show up with macaroni casserole and a gift basket and a... What the fuck? Manila folder?
Yeah, manila folder.
Interesting. I don't think I've ever seen that word written out.
Yeah, it's not vanilla. You may pronounce it vanilla, but it's a manila.
Manila. Whenever someone new moves in. They're very friendly. 4 people showed up when we moved in 7 years ago. The committee made small talk, gave me a Snickers bar, and took turns holding Noelle. It was her first week out of the hospital, so they were extra careful. Because you're not you when you're hungry.
Eat a Snickers.
Eat a Snickers, kid. Then the committee asked...
I think it's Nala.
Nala?
No, it's not. I just made that shit up.
Fuck you.
Nola. I think it's Nola.
That's what I first said.
I know. I said I don't think it's Noel, and you said like, okay, Noel.
Yeah, I don't think it's Noelle. Nala.
I don't think so either.
Nala. Anyways. Then the committee asked to speak to my parents in private, so I was sent to my room where I still managed to hear nearly every word. The welcoming committee told my parents about how nice the neighborhood was, really exceptionally hard to explain, kind of nice. And then they told my parents about an even harder to explain whistling that happened every morning at 3:03 and ended at the tick of 3:05. The group of our new neighbors warned my parents about the whistling was quiet, would never harm or hurt us as long as we didn't look for what was making the sound. This part they stressed, and I pushed my ear into the door, strained to hear them. People who went looking for the whistler had their luck change, sometimes tragically. A black cloud would hang over everyone that looked. Anything that could go wrong would. The manila envelope the committee brought over contained newspaper clippings, stories about car crashes and ruined lives, public deaths, and freak accidents. Not everyone dies, I heard the head of the committee tell my dad, but their life goes out of them. Even if they live, there's no light in them ever again. No presence. Shit. My mom, I could tell she wasn't taking it seriously. She kept asking if this was some prank they played on our new neighbors. At one point, my mom got angry, accused the committee of trying to scare us out of our new home, asked them if they were racist on account of my dad being from the islands. My dad calmed her down, told her he could tell our new neighbors were sincere and they were just trying to help us. He explained that he grew up hearing these kinds of stories from his mom and that he knew there were strange things that walked among us. Some of these strange things were good and some were bad, but most were just different. After the committee left, my dad went out to the hardware store, bought the canvas blinds, the latches, and the locks, and installed them on every window in the house after dinner. The first night in our new house, I crept out of my room at 3 a.m., only to find my dad awake, sitting on the living room couch, holding my baby sister. My dad held up his finger in a shh motion, but patted the couch next to him. I sat and we waited. At exactly 3:03, we heard the whistling. Darude Sandstorm starts playing. It came and went just like our neighbor said. The whistling returns each night, and we never took, and we enjoy our million little blessings every day. Noelle breathes on her own, and she's grown into a strong, clever girl. My dad even joined the welcoming committee. We don't get new neighbors often. Why would anyone want to leave? But when a new family moves in, my dad and the committee bring them macaroni casserole, a gift basket, and the manila folder. I could always tell by the look on my dad's face when he comes back if the family took the committee seriously, or if we'd get new neighbors again very soon. Not long ago, a family moved in directly next to us. The previous owner, Miss Maddie, passed away at the age of 105. God damn! She lived a good life, long life. Our new neighbors... No, she didn't. Our new neighbors seemed like they'd fit in just fine. They believed the welcoming committee took my dad's advice about the locking shutters since they had a young child of their own. Whatever newspaper clippings were in the manila envelope, whatever evidence, my dad never let us see, but I imagine it must have been awfully convincing since our neighbors got along with no issues for the first month. One night, when our new neighbors had to leave town, they sent their son, Holden, to stay with us. He was 12, a year under me in school. I didn't know him well before the night, but as soon as his parents dropped him off after dinner, I could tell it was going to be a bad time.
Yep, always those kids. Bad time.
Them goddamn kids. Do you know who is always out there whistling every night? Holden asked the moment the adults left the room.
Is this kid 6?
Yeah. Even though he's 12. His balls ain't dropped, okay? Puberty. Yeah, he has not hit puberty. The three of us were sitting in the den, some Disney movie playing idly on the television. My sister and I exchanged a glance. We don't know about that, I said. I think it's that weirdo that lives in the big yellow house in the corner, Holden said. Mr. Tolles? Wait. What's a good voice for the sister?
Do you want me to do it?
Yeah, you do the sister. Fuck it.
How old is she?
She's younger than our main character, so.
No way. He's really nice.
Holden shrugged. Must be a psycho killer then. Noelle tensed. We don't talk about it, I repeated. Let's go into my room and play Nintendo.
I got the Game Boy.
Oh my!
I love it when Dad tells me to go play the Game Boy.
I love it.
I tell him no. It's just my Xbox.
It's the Xbox that's making all the dirty sounds. We spent the next few hours playing games, eating popcorn, and then watching movies. A typical sleepover, but I could see Holden getting antsy. Mickey Mouse, yeah. After After my parents had wished us a good night, locked the blinds, and gone to bed, Holden stood up from his beanbag and walked over to where Noelle and I were sitting on my bed. Have you ever even tried looking? He asked. It's nearly time. Like most sleepovers, we'd conveniently ignored any suggestion of a bedtime. I was shocked to see he was right. It was almost 3 a.m. I sighed. We don't. See? I can't even try to look because my dad looks at the blinds every night and hides the key. Continued ignoring me.
So, I don't know what he did. So, does your dad, the Noel?
Your dad is crazy. Our dad.
So, does our dad? You know, like brother, I said.
No!
My name is...
replied Holden. No, he doesn't! You saw him do it, I said, a little sharper than I meant to sound. Holden grinned. Your dad locks the blinds, yeah, but he doesn't hide the key. He keeps it right on his normal keychain. When did Mickey Mouse join the chat? Since right now. So? Worried I already knew what he would say next because I had noticed that my dad didn't bother hiding the key anymore after all these years because he knew we took it seriously.
Did he, though?
Who's reading this next sentence?
So after I... That one?
Is this Holden? Yeah, I assume so.
Okay.
So after your dad locked up, but before your parents went to bed, I went to the bathroom, and on my way, I may have peeked into their room, and I may have seen your dad's keychain on his nightstand, and I maybe went and borrowed the keys to the blinds.
Wait, the kid snuck into the parents' house while they were sleeping?
Yeah, it's fucking weird, dude.
Also, the parents would have been like, they would have been like too asleep, right? Because they just went to bed.
You would think they wouldn't be in REM state anymore, or right then.
No, yeah, I walked in right after they turned off the lights. Woo,
woo. Noelle and I stared, and his grin only grew wider. You're lying, I said. Holden shrugged. You can check if you want. Just open your parents' door and look. You'll see his keychain right there on the nightstand. Stay here. I told both of them. Don't move a muscle. I hurried over to my parent. Wait, what?
Didn't Holden just borrow the keys?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Why wouldn't he just show them? Yeah. Or maybe he didn't take them. He just looked at them and said that they were there.
No, it says I maybe went and borrowed the keys to the blinds.
Oh, I have no idea then.
Okay, sorry.
I hurried over to my parents' room, but hesitated at the door. If Holden wasn't lying, my dad would be angry, beyond angry. I was scared thinking about it, but more scared of an open window with the whistle blur right outside. I opened the door barely an inch and looked in, but it was too dark to see. Taking a deep breath, I walked into the room. 2 steps into the dark, I froze. The whistling started, and I could hear it clearly from my parents' room. Never realized, but they must have heard the sound every night since we moved into the house. They never told us. I don't think I could have slept through it. I mean, if you pass out before the whistling starts, you don't hear it every night then.
Also, it's like 3 in the morning, so
yeah,
of course.
I would be passed out by like midnight at least.
Yeah.
I stood there listening to the whistling come closer, unsure whether I should turn on a light or call out for my dad. Soft sounds from the living room brought me back to reality. Noel! I yelled, running out of my parents' room. Holden and Noella. Noel. Dude, I don't. Noel. Nola. It's a name. We're standing near the front door next to a window. Holden wasn't lying. I could see him fumbling with the lock on one of the blinds. I heard a click, and he did have the key. Holden let out a quick laugh. Nola stood next to him, hunched over, afraid, but maybe curious. The whistling was right outside our house now. I think I made a sound, called out, I can't remember. Time felt frozen. Clock hands nailed to the face. But I found myself moving. I'm not fast, and I've never been athletic somehow. Though I covered the space between myself and Nola in a moment. My eyes were locked on her, but I heard Holden pull the blind all the way down so I could release. So it could release.
Yeah, so it could release.
I heard the snap of it start to rise, and I heard the whistling just on the other side of the window. But I had my arms around Nola, and I turned us so she was facing away from the window. At the same time, I jammed my eyes shut. The blind whipped open. The whistling stopped. I felt Nola shaking in my arms. Don't look, okay? I told her. Don't turn around! We were positioned so that she was facing back towards the hallway and I was facing the window. My eyes were still closed and I felt her nod into my shoulder. I reached out with the arm not looking, Nola, and I tried to touch Holden. My hand brushed against his arm. He was shaking worse than Nola. Holden! I asked. Silence. I reached past him and gingerly felt the window. Eyes still sealed shut. The glass was cold against my fingertips, colder than it should have been for the time of the year. I moved my hand up the window, searching for the string to the blind. The glass began to get warmer, and the further I reached, and there was a gentle hum feeding back into my fingertips. I tried not to think about what might be on the other side of the window. Finally, I touched the string and yanked the blind shut. I opened my eyes in the dim light leaking out from the kitchen. I could make out Holden, pale and small, staring at the now closed window. Holden! I asked again. He turned towards me and he screamed. Everything became a flurry of motion. Lights sparked to life in the hall, and then the living room. My parents' footsteps thudded across the hardwood floor. I didn't turn to look at him. My eyes were glued to Holden. He was pale and had bit his lips so hard that there was a thin red line of blood running down his chin, and he wet himself.
Oh, cool.
What happened? My dad asked from behind me. I managed to swivel away from Holden and look back. He looked. I'd never seen my dad scared before, but I saw it that night. In the moment, an old, ugly terror stitched onto his face. A parent's fear. Just Holden? He mouthed to me. I nodded yes. My dad let out a breath. He looked so relieved. I nearly expected him to cheer. But then he turned to Holden and my dad's face changed. I wonder if he felt bad for feeling good that Holden was the only one that looked. There was a knock at the door. We all froze. Holden whimpered. Don't answer it. My mom said. Oh God, I went with the voice again. She stood at the threshold of the hall. I always thought she was a skeptic and just humored my dad about the windows and the whistler. But that night, we were all believers. I noticed that both my parents held baseball bats. They must have taken from their bedroom. The knock came again, a little louder this time. Please don't open the door, Holden whispered. My dad walked over to him, hugged him close. We won't, my dad promised, still holding his bat. Nothing is coming in here tonight. Thud, 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 thud. This time, the knocking was loud enough to rattle the door. Holden screamed again, and Nola clutched her arms around my neck. My mom came over and knelt down next to us, wrapping my sister and me close. Thud, thud, thud. Call the police. My mom whispered to my... Oh, wait. Whisper. Call the police. My mom whispered to my dad. The knocking instantly stopped. My dad looked over his shoulder at us. Do you think? Wait, that's the wrong voice. Do you think? He was cut off by frantic knocking that trailed off to a polite tap, tap, tap. Police? something said from the other side of the door. The voice from outside sounded exactly like my mom, like a parrot repeating the words back to her. Oh, then it's police? Call the police. Tap, tap, tap. Police. My mom pulled us closer. Police, 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 police. Please stop. I heard her whisper. What? I can't, there's too many voices to keep up. I don't think calling them will help, my dad said. How will we know when they're the ones at the door? It's like almost a goofy voice.
Yeah.
The knocking came back harder than before. The door shook, then it stopped. After a long moment, I heard the knocking again, but it was coming from our back door. We all turned together towards the back door, but the knocking immediately returned to the front door. Front to back to front, loud, then quiet, then loud again. Suddenly, the sound was coming from both doors at once. Big, heavy blows like a sledgehammer. Then something started rapping against all the...
Yeah, it's just Eminem.
Hey, yo! Rapping against all the windows in the house. And then the walls, it was like we were living inside a drum with a dozen people trying to play at once. Or we were a turtle and something was attempting to claw us out of our shell. Stop! Holden yelled. The knocking died. I won't tell, Holden said, staring at the door. I promise I won't tell anyone what I saw. Just please go away. Oh my god. We waited for nearly a minute. Then we heard it, a soft tap, tap, tap coming from the window. Holden had looked through earlier. Holden started to cry, sobbing like a prisoner watching gallows being built outside their cell. My dad held him, brushed his hair, but never lied to him. Never told him things would be okay. The tapping at the window went on for the rest of the night. We huddled together in the living room, but for I don't know how long. Eventually, my mom tried to take us kids into the room while my dad stayed to watch the door. But the second we moved into my bedroom, the knocking came back so loud it was possible to ignore. Probably impossible was supposed to be said.
Mm-hmm. But it was possible to ignore it.
Yeah, it was very possible to ignore it.
I just decided not to.
Yeah, it was very easy. I was afraid the door couldn't take it. We went back to the living room and the knocking stopped. Only the tap, tap, tap on the window remained. None of us slept that night. The tapping stopped around 7 a.m. That's about the time the sun comes up. We waited another 2 hours before my dad opened the blinds from one window. He made us all go back to my parents' bedroom first. I heard him open the door and then come back in. Okay, he told us, it's done. Holden's parents come back around lunchtime. My mom and dad walked Holden over to his house and they all went inside for quite a while. Nola and I watched from the window. She stuck to me the whole day, right at my side, sometimes holding my hand. When my parents came back, they looked grim, but wouldn't tell us what they said to Holden's family. It was a Sunday, so we all spent that day together, ordered pizza, and watched movies.
They're taking them to the family farm.
Yeah, we're going to Domino's.
No, I meant they're taking Holden to the farm.
Ah, yes, the Domino's farm.
Yep.
He's going to be made into a pizza, meat lovers. That's fucked.
The thick crust.
The thick crust. Oh god, they got me. That night, everyone slept in my room. Nola and my mom in the bed with me and my dad in a chair he pulled over. There was no knocking that night or any night since. We didn't see much of Holden or his parents for the rest of that week, but by Thursday, there was a moving truck in their driveway. Nola and I watched them packing up the whole afternoon after school. What sticks with me is how tired Holden and his parents looked. All three had the same pallor, grim mouths and lightless eyes. Even from across the street, I could tell something was very wrong. Holden and his family were gone before sunset. I remember what the original welcoming committee said to my parents when we moved in. Not everyone who looks at the Whistler dies, but even those that live have the light go out of them, and the rest of their lives are full of misfortune and million little tragedies. I think Holden's parents must have looked either to comfort him if they didn't believe or share the burden if they did. I watched Nola some days, happy and young and alive, and I wonder if I had been slower if she had looked out the window that night. would I have looked to comfort her, to share the burden? I'm glad I don't have to find out. We still live in the house in the neighborhood. We still hear the whistler walking past every night. The blessings, the luck, the good things that are here are too good to leave, but we're careful. We don't have friends over to spend the night anymore, and my dad hides the key to the blinds very, very well. Not that I've been looking. Some things you just don't need to look for. Like Holden. Dude, what the fuck? Okay. When I'm not doing voices, that's actually a pretty scary story.
It's like a pretty good one, and it's like mess it up.
Dude, I fuck it up all the time. Like, it's like just an intense story that's, oh boy, the Whistler's back.
I'm surprised you didn't make the mom Donald Duck.
Oh, dude, I can't do a Donald Duck voice. That's why I didn't do it. Because it's so garbage. Like, my Donald Duck voice is like, wow. What?
That's terrible.
Oh my god! It's like, I don't know how to do a Donald Duck voice. I can just like gargle. I can gargle saliva. That's about it. But that will literally hurt my voice so goddamn hard.
Yeah, it's a good story though.
I like the Mickey one. That's the only one I've been practicing is my Mickey Mouse voice. Oh boy, it's time to go back to the clubhouse and look at the Whistler and hopefully we don't die. You're a fat one.
What do you think the Whistler is?
It's probably just an entity.
Oh, I thought it was. I thought it was a neighborhood sex offender.
I see you, little boy. like what the fuck?
The light goes out because because you just saw a really gross, ugly fat guy. Just, not even like fat, but just like like
it's just
when
like,
people have.
It's like a run-down Mickey Mouse mascot.
Yeah, pretty much. Like the guy just like has like he's seen better days, but
he just walks around whistling for 2 minutes and then leaves.
Yeah. Also, it's funny. It lasts for only 2 minutes.
Yeah. Literally, all you have to do is not do shit for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And if possible, you're probably asleep by then. Majority of the time.
Dude, it's like they made it so easy to not fuck up your life.
Literally, just don't be awake at 3 a.m. and don't look outside if you are.
It's not like an hour. It's literally 2 minutes.
Fuck, dude, I don't even look outside like for hours. Like, it's pretty fucking easy.
Yeah, I swear, like they made it the easiest way to like not fuck up your life, and like, yeah, you get really good luck and everything else, but if you look outside,
yeah, your entire life was ruined. Oh no.
If all you had to do was not look outside for 2 minutes, but you get everything you ever want. Actually, depends on how like bright this or how loud the whistling is.
Yeah. I assume since it can't be heard throughout the entire house and only in certain rooms, it's not that loud.
Yeah, so just move yourself into the inner.
Yeah, you go sleep
house.
on the couch or something.
Well, they looked outside the window during the couch and they almost died.
Well,
also, why is the mom crazy enough to like, I want to look outside the window, but
oh my god,
I'm not going to. I was just thinking about it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Fun little Mickey Mouse story.